I've always wanted a stick launcher, and today's the day. Unfortunately, the guy that sold it to me wouldn't let me test it in their range. He said, it's so fast, it goes right through the wall. He basically told me to take it out into the middle of the desert and figure it out. So that's what I did. Let's see if I can hit anything. Oh, buddy! I got him! So the guy did give me a couple pointers before I left the store. Basically, he told me this is a Raven R10. It's one of the easiest to use. He told me where not to put my fingers so that I don't rip my fingers off. And yeah, that's about it. Let's see if I can get this thing loaded up. He also sold me this bushwhacker, but this is for later. There's a decent amount of tension here. It is going 400 feet per second. Once it's fully cranked back, you want to take this lever off. I don't know the technical term. You're going to take one of the arrows, and you always want to load in front of the no hand zone with the white down, and then hope for the best. First shot ever. I hit the bag! First shot ever! And I hit the back. So far, 2 for 2 at 20 yards, which I don't think is so bad, might I say so myself, for my first time. Okay, let's see if I can do 3 for 3. That's the coolest thing ever. I hit the bag 3 times, all up in this upper right corner. None inside the targets, but I'm actually surprised to even hit the bag at all. If I want to get a turkey for Thanksgiving, I better find a really fat one, so that way I can't miss. Speaking of turkeys, I think I see one in the bush over there. Let's see if I can call him over. My turkey call's working. I'll see if I can get him. Let's see if I can bring home some Thanksgiving dinner. I'm gonna try to keep both eyes open this time. Oh, buddy! First shot on the turkey, and I'd like to call this a home run. As you can see, the arrow went straight through the turkey into the bag. Same area I was hitting previously, but that's okay. Looks like I'm having turkey for dinner tonight. I guess he lost a part of his beak too. Might taste a little foamy. Not sure the texture, but we'll make the best of it. Right, buddy? Let's go get ready for dinner. Testing out the sharpness of this bushwhacker. I guess we're not having any giblets for dinner. Good thing I have some duct tape. Who would have known it's great for putting ducks back together. Welcome inside. If you've been around here for a while, you know I'm a woman of few serious words. I like to keep it light and playful on this channel and remind you to have a good time in life as much as possible. Today though, I'm finally going to talk about one of the most asked questions I've gotten over the past couple years, and that's what I do for personal protection. I've been dodging that question for so long because it's such a controversial topic. It seems to be highly polarizing and everyone has their own opinions. It's also frowned upon on social media. Go figure. The world's a fun place, but it's not necessarily a safe place. Everything's sunshine and rainbows until it's not. And it only takes one time for things to not be okay. No matter how hard you try to stay out of bad situations, it's pretty ignorant to think that nothing bad is ever going to happen to you. And whether it be people or animals, there's been bad actors since the dawn of civilization. We should always be aware and prepared. It's part of our responsibility. And if you don't like these forms of protection, there's still so many things you can do to be more prepared, such as situational awareness, self-defense, de-escalation classes, the list goes on. I'm really excited that my brother is back on the mainland this year after finishing up active duty in the Marines. I plan on spending a lot more time with him this year, whether he likes it or not, and hopefully I can learn as much of his training as I can. I think there could be some really funny videos too. I've already been thinking about brainstorming what we could do. You know, who can survive the longest in the woods, who can run the farthest, who's more accurate. It's really going to be pretty embarrassing when I beat him in all the categories. You just wait. First up, this is my revolving dose 2. This is my favorite for planking. It's cheap to practice with, and there's virtually no recoil, which makes it nearly impossible to miss your target, but it gets made fun of a lot because it's not very powerful. I don't know about you, but I still wouldn't mess with anybody who had one of these. Next up is my full-size Nueve. This definitely has a lot more stopping power than the Dose 2. I would start with a full-size Nueve before moving down to a micro Nueve because this has a lot more control and accuracy due to the longer barrel. Last up is my micro Nueve. This is my favorite. It's an everyday carry. It's black and pink, but don't worry, it still works the same. I still want to add some things to it, including this RMR CC red dot, and see how that does. I do have one additional for long range. I'm not going to bring it up or tell you what it is though because I don't want the internet to rage. I'll give you one clue. It starts with an S. I got some bear spray from when the bears want to get too frisky, and I have some everyday keychain pepper spray. Next up I have a multi-tool. If you do anything out in the wilderness, you probably have one of these as well. It comes in handy all the time. Has a bunch of different little knickknacks on it, like a screwdriver, scissors, pliers, a nail file, you name it, has it. I use it for fishing all the time. Last but certainly not least, I actually might say this is the most important to start with if you have no other forms of protection. This is the Garmin InReach, and this is a little satellite communicator. It has two-way messaging, emergency SOS services, location updates, so you can update your friends and family. If you're out on the trail, they can actually see that you're progressing and where you're at. If something absolutely goes wrong and you need help, you can pay for a monthly service. So you can hit this SOS button and somebody will come and rescue you. I've never tried it. Hopefully that never happens, but definitely worth the investment. And that's it. Those are some of the things that I use. Maybe I'll show you what's inside of the boxes later down the road somewhere else. I just wanted to give you a lowdown on what I've used because it's been several years and I've been dodging the question. Hope it was helpful. Now for that question we all ask ourselves. What do we do with all the Thanksgiving leftovers? And that I'm going to show you. Crunchwrap Supreme, Thanksgiving style. Let's get started. Mashed potatoes, turkey, green beans or green bean casserole, whichever you prefer, cranberry sauce, stuffing, and some sharp white cheddar. Of course, you can't forget the tortilla. Mashed potatoes right in the middle, thin layer, some leftover turkey, green beans, whichever you prefer, some cranberry sauce, and lastly, and most importantly, the stuffing. Let's move you over here. The stuffing is my favorite part. That's probably good. I have to be able to close this baby up. And then lastly, the cheese. Right on top so it melts. Okay. I wrapped it. Now it's time to toast it. Just gonna put a little bit of some oil down first like that. Now I'm just gonna let it toast for about 3 to 5 minutes per side, depending on how hot your burner is. That thing always goes off on me. Look how toasty and warm that is. My gravy. Look at that. This is a masterpiece right there. I got my gravy and my Thanksgiving crunch wrap. I'm gonna dunk it into some hot gravy. That's really good. I like this idea because you can still use it on the go, it's portion control, you can jump in your car the next day and still enjoy all these favorite flavors of Thanksgiving in a toasty tortilla. That is delicious. Give it a try. I had to get out my tripod because the scope is definitely off. It can't be me. And as you see, oh, there's Betty. All of these are my shots. The top one, I believe, is the turkey. The one that's still in the bag is the one that just came off the tripod that's centered for the very center of this target. And it still landed right amongst the others within a few inches of each other. So I'm pretty sure I need to sight in the scope or zero it. I'm not sure of the correct terminology, but it's getting dark out and I don't really have time to do that right now. So that's gonna have to be a project for the future. So stay tuned. I want to give you a friendly reminder that the holidays are coming up. It's that time of year again, and this can be one of the most lonely times of year for a lot of people. So do me a favor, reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while, someone that you care about, give them a call, smile at someone, imagine that. There's so much negativity out there these days. We should be helping each other out more. We should have more morale. It seems like we're so divided, and just because you don't have the same beliefs as someone doesn't mean you can't be friendly and you can't be friends. These days we get used to living behind a digital curtain, so it's easy to say things you don't mean without repercussion. But I think it does have repercussions. Not only are you throwing shade at someone, but it makes you as a person more negative. And generally speaking, life is better as a positive person. Be negative, receive only negative. Be positive, receive positive. Bottom line is just reach out and say hi to someone. Have a drink, share a meal, be nice, make it a habit. And with those words, I really hope you go out there and spread some holiday cheer. I think that about wraps it up. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed our little talk and update. Don't forget to be friendly to your neighbor, say hello, give them a hug, call your family. It's never too late. See you next week for another adventure. I'll show you how I got this lovely gash in my helmet.